Imagine waking up in Bali, sipping your coffee in a little cafe in Lisbon, or catching the sunset in Tulum, and still making money from your laptop. No commute, no boss hovering, no degree required. If that sounds like a dream, let me tell you, it is very real. In today's video, I'm breaking down the best remote job to let you travel the world, even if you don't have a college degree or tech background. These are legit jobs people are using to fund their lifestyle, pay off their debt, fund their travels, and live life on their own terms. And you can do it too. Let's get started. Welcome to my channel, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Salwa. I am a digital entrepreneur coach. I've been traveling the world full-time for 5 years. I've been working online full-time for 8 years. And in the past 2 years, I've settled down in Mexico. So welcome. But this idea of only people who had a tech job or they had a really high-end degree and these are the people who could work remotely, well, time have changed, everybody. Time have changed.
Times have changed, my friends. Times have changed.
So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some jobs that you can get started today with no experience and no degree even. Why? Because now everybody's outsourcing. These creator economies at its peak. There's so many ways to make money online, and you don't have to be tied to a job you hate if you don't want to. Now, there's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5, nothing wrong at all. But if you want to build your side hustle or if you want to travel full-time like I have for many years, this video is for you. First, I'm going to share with you a list of remote jobs you can get started today with no experience like I mentioned. And then I'm going to share with you what online platform you can use to find these jobs. And then I'm going to show you a structure you can use on how you can get hired for this job. So let's dive in. The first job that I would like to share is the one that I actually would have started. If I had to start today all over again, I would start with that, which is virtual assistant. So virtual assistant is technically you are the assistant usually to the exact person, and you're going to be the right hand. You're going to be doing everything they need. That can be anything from social media to email response to picking up the phone to doing all the admin work. So that's a really full all-in-one job. So it really depends on what the person would need you to do, but really you can get started with very minimum experience or no experience at all. For example, for myself, I've had many virtual assistants over the years, and I had to train them. You know, I would ask them, hey, do you have any experience in social media or design or this or this? But most of the time I have to train them so they can have or understand the vision of my business, the branding. So I would train them. So that's why I think this one is the easy one to get started with. It pays well. Well, again, it really depends on different factors. So I know if you outsource from other countries, you probably would pay less. But if you want somebody in the US with a perfect English for copy, for example, or anything related to writing, then the price might go up, obviously. But focus on the quality. I've heard Gary Vaynerchuk say, hire quick, fire quick. So I look at their portfolio, I do an interview, I see what they've done, and then based on their personality, I would decide if I hire them or not. And I've hired people for short term and I've hired some for long term. Some still with me after a few years. So I think virtual assistant is a highly in demand job and you can get started today. Really, you don't need much. So that would be the top of my list, virtual assistant. The second one would be freelance writer and editor. I know now with AI, you can replace a lot of copy. I also use it myself, but I think there's nothing like someone who knows how to write. Like there's something else that I think, in my opinion, AI cannot really replace at this time. One of the jobs you can get would be writing blog posts, products description, newsletter, and social media caption. The next one is anything related to social media. So social media manager. So anybody who can schedule your post, create your post, edit your reel, create videos, even create videos with voiceover and AI. There's so many options there. We are in the world of video. So even if you are a business owner, you need videos. So that's why I think this is never going to be in shortage of jobs. So if you have a little bit of experience editing your own videos, you can start with video editors. This is a really high demand and well-paid jobs as well. The next one on my list is customer support, either chat or phone. I know there exist so many companies who outsource. They have a phone line and then people in Jamaica will pick up the phone, or people in a different country. You do have to speak the language. So if you are in the US, you would want to hire obviously a team that speaks English. But customer support, Amazon has a whole team that just do that and they pay pretty well. And so customer support, either chat or phone, is an excellent way to get started. You don't need much experience. You just need a phone or a laptop. And they are oftentimes train you as well to tell you what to say, what is the script, what they call it, like starting a ticket. If they don't know how to answer your problem, they open a ticket. They figure out the answer, and then they get back to you. So that's why there's no pressure. You don't need to have a degree or extensive experience. Better if you do, but if you don't, you can get started with that. It's fine. The next one is transcription and captioning work. So again, I know that now AI is taking over a few of these jobs, but I think having a human tone, a human connection with this is still very important. So what do? You would be listening to audio, and then you will be transcribing this into writing. So this is one of the jobs you can get started. And on that same theme, I know I mentioned this on another video about this lady who was reading books and then writing a summary for a company. And that worked well. There's actually a YouTube video that's very successful, and that's all he does. He just tells you a summary about the book, which is great. Another one in this same theme would be translation. Now, for this, you do need to speak a different language, and you get paid a lot more. But if you're bilingual or you know more than 2 languages, that's an awesome way to get started. You can transcribe so many different types of documents and get paid for it. I myself speak 4 languages. I used to do some translation work in my beginning days, but now that's not really my lane. But it's useful. So I'm just going to do a quick summary on these type of jobs. So number 1, we have virtual assistants. The skills you need to have for this is communication and organization. Second one would be the freelance writer or editor. Skills you need is writing and research. Third, social media manager. Skills you need are strategy, Canva, and communication, or any other platform for designs. Number 4 is customer support or chat agents. For that, you really need patience and communications. Next one is the transcription or captioning work, and the skills you need for that is know how to type fast and know your grammar. So now let me tell you where you can find these jobs. Number 1 will be a website called We Work Remotely, and you can find jobs across different industries. Number 2 is Flex Jobs. Then we have Upwork and Fiverr. Those are my favorite. Not only a hire, I've also worked on Fiverr myself as a freelancer and on Upwork. I actually met a client on Upwork. I ended up working for maybe 6 months, and I was doing a digital marketing strategy for them. Yes, those are very popular. And they have a good reputation. So Fiverr and Upwork. By the way, there's so many other platforms online that you can find online jobs. And if you want me to dive in more on all the different platforms that exist, leave me a comment down below and let me know where you find your remote job. That might be interesting to know for others as well. The last one on my list is LinkedIn. I didn't know that on LinkedIn you can actually search for fully remote. Yes, so when you search for a job, you just type on the search bar fully remote, and then they'll show you all the remote jobs available, whether it's in the US or somewhere else. So highly recommend it. Now I'm gonna give you a few strategies on how you can get hired. Let's dive in. Number 1, and you want to build a portfolio. So if you really have 0 experience, that's fine. But if you've done some of this work, even for yourself, let's say you're doing video editing or social media, just present your work or ask few friends if you can create some designs for them and then add this into your portfolio. So having a portfolio is important. Even myself, when I hire, I ask people,
what have you done before? Show me so I can see, where you are.
Not because I'm not going to hire them, but I want to see where they are in their skill set. And your portfolio does not have to be too big. You could have 2 to 3 examples to get started. And honestly, when it's too big, it's annoying because we're going to skim through. We're not going to go through all of your content. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is to start a lower rate. I know that Fiverr does that when they have like new talents. And then oftentimes they are more affordable because they're trying to build up review and they're trying to grow their portfolio. So I'd suggest you start doing that. And also what it's going to do is it's going to help you hone your skills. So you're going to know what the market wants, and then you're going to be able to develop certain skills. So if you realize that people like this, but they want you to do more of this, then you can get better at this. So that's why it's not a bad thing to start with low rates. I've done it myself when I started with my coaching business, until I built the confidence and I really was in a place where I'm like, okay, now I'm going to charge this rate because I know I can provide results. But if you're starting at the beginning, in my opinion, it is fine to be a little bit lower in your rates to get started. The next thing I suggest is keep honing your skills, and you can find many courses online, including YouTube. This video is free. Just learn using YouTube or every other platforms where you can find free courses. There's schools now that offer free online courses, so keep building up your skills so you can get better at what you do. And then the next thing is to focus on clients' results. So you want to get those testimonials. You want to make sure the client is happy. If you offer a service, the client is not happy, offer to redo it. Listen, I hired a VA once. She did me dirty. The work was terrible. And I said, look,
I can either pay you for this and then call it quit, or you can redo it and maybe give you a chance to give you a longer, period of work with me.
And she just decided to get paid. So I did that. I paid her and I never hired her again. And I think this is a very bad trait when you work, especially as a freelancer. You want to make sure your client is happy. And of course, sometimes you might try 2-3 times and it's just not matching, and that's fine. But at least you have tried, you gave them a revision, and they see that there's effort. So that's, for me, is very important. Remember what I mentioned before. If you're gonna hire, so in my case, if you're gonna hire, I'm gonna hire based on personality rather than skills. So if I see that you're a go-getter, I see that you're really trying, I will give you a chance rather than be like,
okay, I'm not doing it.
For me, that's lazy work, and that's not, I just don't want to waste my time with this. So remember this, personality base is very important. Show the clients that you're willing to do the work and you want them to be happy with the result. And then with that, when they hire you, they're gonna refer you to other people, which is great. So that's why you want to be liked when you work for a certain, when you do freelance work. And I've been hiring more people over the years on Fiverr, one for my thumbnails, one for this, one of that, because I know they're doing good works. But also, if I'm not happy and I say, hey, can you do this revision? This I don't really like. They'll do it. No charge, no extra charge. So that's very important. I just want to give you this quick note. You don't need to hire 100 clients, not when you get started. You just need 2 or 3 good clients that are going to be consistent. They're going to be happy with your work, and they are going to refer you to others. So there you have it. I'll give you a few jobs that you can get started with no degree, no extensive experience. You can get started today. You have the platforms, you have the strategy. Let's get to it. And if you do it, please let me know in the comment section down below, because I would love to know and I read all the comments. And on this note, I do have a free guide that I want to offer you. It's called the Remote Income Roadmap. It's free. I'm going to leave the link down below, and that's a good base foundation to get started with your online business or your online income. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on my next video. Bye bye from Mexico.
Bye.